Where are you?
Hello, everybody, and welcome. I am here with William Page, and this is a topic of the week video, but a very unusual one. For this topic of the week comes only once a year, like old Santa Claus coming down the chimney. We too show up with gifts. I'm here with William Page. Will, how you doing tonight, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Excellent. So we are here to talk about the much anticipated, I've gotten a lot of questions about this, the much anticipated Warhammer YouTuber end of year awards, 2015 awards. Are you excited?
It's the only thing I've been looking forward to all year.
From January 1st
Yeah.
of 2015, only thing on your mind. That makes sense. It's, yeah. I accept that. So we are, Kieran, myself, and Will be forming the awards committee this year for 2015. And there will be some similarities to last year for those of you who remember last year's Warhammer YouTuber Awards. And there will be some differences. But all in all, of course, what is this all about? It's all about recognizing the community, all the great members, content producers, the people who participate in this community every day and make it something that I love being a part of, right? I mean, Will, I know you've talked about it on your videos as well some, but it truly is amazing, right? Everybody's doing this pretty much for free, and yet so much good content, right? I think you probably know better than most. You put together that, the weekly wrap up for a while, and that had to be just a heck of a lot of work.
Well, that was a lot of work, but I think this is also important because it shows that despite all the crazy changes that are happening right now, that there still exists a community, and I think this is a chance to recognize everybody in it.
Absolutely agreed. Yeah, and so that's really what these YouTuber awards are going to be about. I thought what we would do for this video, for the announcement of it, is kind of lay out the schedule of what everything's going to look like, talk through the categories, and then give all of you out there a bit of a challenge. So let's start with some schedule stuff. So the voting for the YouTuber End of Year Awards is going to start on the 14th of December, so Monday. Will and I and Kieran are going to put together a list of nominees, and that will be one of the big differences this year is that when you go to vote, there will be a list of nominees in the categories. But of course, you can also write in your own candidate, vote however you want. We are not the arbiters of what is good out there, and if you know something that's not on that list, vote for it. Absolutely vote for it, okay? And the voting will be open between the 14th and it will close at midnight on December 31st, the true end of the year, right? The last minute, as the ball drops in Times Square, the voting ends. There you go. That's it. That's what that's really signifying. And I'm going to try to get Ryan Seacrest to mention the Warhammer YouTuber Awards this year. So.
And Mario Lopez can help us host it also.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll bring on Lopez. It's fine. I mean, we might be able to get other members of the Saved by the Bell cast as well, which I think that would be very exciting if we could have a sort of reunion for the Warhammer YouTubers. And then we'll do the award show on the 2nd of January. Now, when the voting opens this Monday, we'll do a video sort of announcing that, as well as that the voting is open, as well as walking through all of the categories and the nominees in each category. But as I said, that list of nominees is not the end-all, be-all. So,
Let me also step in here and just stress something. We're going to have nominees just for the purpose of helping us calculate, the end winners. It's not to play favorites, and we want everybody to have a chance, like Vince said, to nominate whoever they want. And also, if you feel like that you want to be recognized, feel free to, we'll put a link to my contact below, but just make a video on YouTube, send me the link with the email below, and I'll watch it, and I'll bring it up in the nomination process.
Yep. Exactly, and that gets directly to the challenge, and we'll come back to that later. Don't worry, we're not just going to go into a closed room and think this over. No, we're putting this back out on all of you. So, Will, do you want to talk through maybe the categories and talk about what our categories are going to be for the awards this year?
Oh, I would love to, but I think you wrote down the stuff, so I'll let you take it on. And I'll just respond to anything.
And you respond. How about that? That sounds good. Okay. So continuing on from last year, we're going to have our best competitive and best casual battle reporter. I loved this category last year. I thought this was great. I know bat reps are a major thing that draws this community together. Will, I'm sure you being a frequent bat repper yourself over the past year, you're probably a big fan of this category.
Yeah, I think a clear distinction, if you're looking to see what the difference is, I think if you're watching a YouTube channel and they're using some tournament style lists, that you should consider them. And of course, if they're going to tournaments and documenting it, I think you should consider that as well.
Yep. If they're talking a lot of like hard tactics and stuff as they move, here's why I did this, here's why I did that, versus just sort of this happened, or this is the narrative, or this is that. There's sort of a distinction out there. Yeah. And of course, because we let you write in your candidates, it's really in the end whatever you think. If one person's competitive is another person's casual, I suppose. And
I guess here we should also stress that it can be old 8th edition reports, 9th edition reports, or Age of Sigmar reports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, next two categories. Our best 9th Age content and our best AOS content. Obviously, both of these are part of the Warhammer community that we are all a part of. I know I am interested in both games. I follow both games. I like both games. And so we want to recognize the people who are standouts in both games and bringing passion and creativity to both of them. Will, any thoughts on those two?
I'm a big proponent of both. I currently, unfortunately, only play AOS just because of my community. But yeah, I think it's important that we see who's doing what for each of those game systems.
Absolutely. All right, next two. Most thought-provoking content or series and best new series. So the stuff that makes you go, of course, very valuable. There's a lot of good thought pieces that get put out there. And I know I really enjoy those. Part of the benefit of having this community is that we can discuss things pretty civilly. It truly amazes me that we have carved out this wonderful corner of the internet which is normally just this most Eisley like cesspool of scum and villainy. But our little corner is generally pretty civil and friendly, and I like it very much.
Yeah, it is amazing that we have the most civilized Warhammer community, or any community on the web, probably.
Yeah, I really think that's the case. Like sometimes I tell people who I know that like I do stuff on YouTube, not many people, just because like, if I'm at work or something and I'm like, yeah, I do Warhammer stuff on YouTube, I just like, that's not going to land. Then I have to go through a lot of other uncomfortable conversations. But when I do, they're like, oh, that must be terrible. And I'm like, no, it's great. I respond to all my comments because 99.9% of them are amazing and awesome, and I love the interaction. So yeah. And of course, best new series for our new people, because we want to recognize those up and comers in the community who are working hard and maybe should be getting more recognition than they are. I think that's really important. Everybody who's in this community as a content producer started with no subscribers one day, right? It's like, that's simply the reality of it. You turned on that account one day and decided to start making videos, and there you go.
So just a quick thing, when we have the write-in for that category, what do you think is a good guideline for them? Like if somebody wants to nominate somebody.
Just for best new series? Yeah. Somebody who started a new ongoing series, right, in 2015 and remained fairly consistent with it throughout the year. I think that's probably the guideline. Something that wasn't, so it could be an older channel, but it had to be a completely new series and it had to start in 2015. So most often it's going to be a new person, right? If it's just a totally new channel, that's also perfectly fine to nominate, right? Because that could be their new series of bat reps or whatever. That's effectively a new series.
Okay, I think that's clear.
All right, So next up, we've got our 3 hobby related. So that is best hobby advice or tutorial, best model submission painting, and best model submission conversion. So those are going to be really fun. And obviously, we're going to be scouring the PMP and bringing out a lot of nominations on these. Members of the community who have submitted great stuff. We'll be looking through the YouTubers, through the PMP, pulling out tons of stuff. And of course, there's a lot more out there that everybody could mention and reference. So yeah, those should all be a lot of fun, because the hobbying aspect to me is, obviously I'm pretty partial to it. I would say it's my favorite aspect of the hobby. But that being said, it's also the glue that binds, right? This is the thing that unites us all together. I don't care what game you're playing, if it's Infinity, Malifaux, if you're playing a war game, you're probably hobbying. You're painting, you're gluing, you're converting. That is literally the stuff the tie that binds. And so I feel it's really important to recognize that. All right, final one. Most consistent content. Now this, I was talking to Will before the show, and I said this was a funny category last year, because last year Anthony from the Sustainable Center, he had this category on lock from more or less the moment we announced it, right? Because he was doing his daily vids. He was doing a vid a day, a vid a day, a vid a day for months. And of course, he won that category overwhelmingly so. But this year, he has been lax. And yep. There's a vacuum. And I can't wait to see where this category goes this year. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm excited to see who's going to fill those shoes, especially on top of lessening his content. This big change has really shook up some channels for that little bit of time there between 8th and 9th.
Yeah, absolutely. So that should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we will have best overall. Now, best overall isn't a directly voted on category. Best overall is simply the person or channel, as it were, that gets the most votes overall in the total thing, both either selected or write-in. So that's how best overall is decided, okay? Now, you want to talk about the challenge portion of this? You alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, I'm sorry for stepping on your toes there.
No, it's okay. That's fine. I like it. You teed it up. You gave us the Chekhov's gun on the mantle. So do you want to pay it off now and officially throw out the challenge, Will?
Okay, so the challenge is we're human beings. We can only know so much. So we're obviously going to nominate some people, but we want everybody out there to be able to, of course, nominate other people. Now, if you're a person that you don't think is going to be recognized for what you do, maybe you're just a smaller channel, but you think you do a great job, well, then I challenge you to make a video saying, this is why I think I should be nominated. We're going to include my contact information below, and you can send me, if it's one of those videos, just send me a video showing me what you do. If it's a conversion or a painting, just send it to me, and I'll bring it up when we look over what we pick off of the PMP. And then from there, you're in the nomination to be nominated. So that's your challenge.
Exactly. That's great. And I want to go all the way. Not only send that to Will, but go. I challenge everyone to go a step farther. If you want to lobby the community directly because you think you should be in the running, don't just send it to Will. Post that up. Throw that video out there. Post it to the YouTubers and tell everyone, hey, I should be winning, best new series. Here's why, and list them reasons. Lobbying it's America's favorite pastime. You can too. That's what I say.
So of course we probably should put a time limit since we are going to try to do these nominees sometime this weekend, right?
Yep.
So we'll probably come up with the final decision on Sunday. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, I think my goal is to have the voting basically open very late Monday, like Monday at around midnight. So basically, it actually would start Monday midnight Eastern time. By the way, I apologize for everybody. And the voting will end at midnight Eastern time on 12/31. So it literally is when the ball drops in Times Square. So
okay.
As we all know, that is the official New Year's. I don't care about all the other time zones in the world. Eastern time zone is what matters.
Hey, my time zone is pretty important.
Yeah, for all those fish who live in it, yes.
Yeah.
So we'll probably open the voting late that night because we'll want to do the show Monday night to sort of announce the nominees, and we'll kick it off with them. So if everybody can kind of put their video, their lobby, and by the way, your lobbying video can go up after the voting's already began. You know, if you're just doing straight lobbying, you can throw that up anytime between now and the end of the year. But I'll tell you, a lot of votes happen early. So don't wait. Participate. That's what I say.
All right, rhyming. I like it.
Yes, that's correct. All right. I think that was probably everything that I wanted to cover. Real quick, James Squires asked a question of Vince, are you eligible for nomination? Well, thank you, James. That's very nice. I appreciate you asking already.
Let me answer this.
Sure, go ahead.
We're not gonna formally nominate Vince, but if there's a huge writing campaign, who's gonna deny that? Who's gonna deny it?
Sure, you're allowed to write in whatever you want, is what I will say. Yeah. But no, I am not going to put myself as a nominee in any category. I wouldn't feel that wouldn't feel kosher to me. I appreciate everybody in the community, and I'm happy to take my own name out of the hat if it means others who are doing great stuff get recognized. So there you go.
You know what? I'm going to also take my name out of that.
That's absolutely. Are you like, you say that kind of joking? No one would vote for you.
No, I'm competing for the humility award, so I want to try to beat you out on this.
I appreciate it.
You do a great job overall. You'd probably win all these categories if we formally nominated you.
All right. So look for that. Like I said, the nomination video will be up on Monday. So you've got the weekend if you want to make a quick vid or send Will a note. You don't have to make a whole video if you just want to shoot Will a note. His email will be down below, and you can send him a note about
why you should be nominated.
Yeah, about why you should be nominated. That's really all that takes. Your lobbying videos anytime. If you want to get it out there beforehand, before the voting starts, then you'll want to get that up by Monday. Otherwise, as soon as you can. Voting will open late by Eastern Time standards on the 14th, probably around midnight. And it will close on 12/31 at midnight Eastern Time. And the award ceremony will be the weekend of January 2nd. So basically right after New Year's. That'll give me enough time to tabulate the voting there, because I'll need a day or two to tabulate out some votes. Yeah, so there we go. I think that's everything that we wanted to announce. But very much looking forward to it. Can't wait to see everybody participate, all the votes. I'm really excited to see some lobby videos. Let me tell you what, I really want to see some people go to the mattresses for why they should win. So should be good. Will, are you excited to take this through?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the final lists are going to be like.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be, this is a hard year to read, right? Because it's been such a crazy year. I think everything is up for grabs this year, and that's pretty exciting. Go ahead.
I was going to say the first year was almost like we were obligated to recognize people who have done it for a long time. Well, now this is like a fresh start for everyone.
Yep, exactly. This is wide open, folks. Wide open. So look for that video. Get ready to vote. Get those emails, those nominations, those lobby videos ready. And as always, we'll see you next time.